What's going on, baseball fans? Welcome to my podcast of the postseason, you could say. Basically summing up what I've done so far in the American League and the National League. Basically, this is just going to be a preview, again, of the teams I have in the postseason for this year. And I'll throw some awards out there, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year. So, all for good fun, so let's get right down to it. Again, these predictions... I did these before the season started, so I'm not going to change anything now. So we'll go and we'll see what happens. So let's start with the AL East. Start with the American League. I have Toronto Blue Jays winning the division. I have the Rays in second, the Orioles in third, the Yankees in fourth, and the Red Sox in fifth. In the American League Central, I have the Kansas City Royals winning the division. I have the Indians in second, Twins in third, Tigers in fourth, and the White Sox in fifth. And in the American League West, I have the Houston Astros in first, Rangers second, Mariners third, A's fourth, Angels and in fifth. In the National League East, I have the New York Mets winning this division, followed by the Miami Marlins second, Washington Nationals third, Atlanta Braves fourth, and the Philadelphia Phillies fifth. In the National League Central, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates winning this division, followed by the St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, and Milwaukee Brewers. And out west, I have the San Francisco Giants, followed by the Arizona Diamondbacks, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, and the Colorado Rockies. So, postseason picture. In the American League, I have the Kansas City Royals as the number one seed, as their worst season to go. I just, I really do think that this is the best team in the American League. They have been the past 2 years back-to-back American League pennants after 29 years out of the postseason. Not getting in since the '85 World Series and then the 2014 wild card game, and basically the rest is history. My second seeded team will be the Houston Astros, and my third seeded team will be the Toronto Blue Jays. My two wild cards will be the Texas Rangers and Texas Rangers and the Tampa Bay Rays. National League, my number one seed this year will be the Pittsburgh Pirates, followed by the San Francisco Giants and New York Mets. And then my two wild card teams, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, American League wild card game, I have the Rays and the Rangers battling out in Globe Life Park in Arlington, and I have Tampa winning this game over the Rangers. And it's kind of a deal where, and the Rangers could throw Cole Hamels or Yu Darvish at you in that game, but I have a big year for Chris Archer. So you throw Chris Archer in a one-game playoff, that's going to be a great game if it does happen that way. But I got Tampa in that game, and they will go play Kansas City in the ALDS. So let's stick with the American League right now. In the ALDS, I will have Kansas City defeating Tampa Bay. I just think the Royals are, they're a pretty good team. They kind of picked up where they left off last year. Everyone's saying they won the World Series last year. What's your motivation now? Simple, win it again. And may become the first team since the Yankees in the 2000s there. The end of the 90s and the early 2000s to get to 3 World Series in a row. That's their motivation. It's as simple as that. This team knows they have a chance to make history, and it's been a long time coming for these fans. I'm not gonna lie, myself included, but I really do think that they're gonna be a force again this year. And then I have the Houston Astros over the Toronto Blue Jays in what will be a fantastic ALDS, really. Two excellent teams. And that will lead us to the American League Championship Series. The Royals just played Houston past 4 days here on April 15th when I'm recording this. Royals won 3 out of 4. Did not face Dallas Keuchel at home, where he won the Cy Young Award last year and was undefeated at home in Houston in Minute Maid Park. In the ALCS, I will have the Astros moving on to the World Series. I think after the ALDS last year, after Game 4, the Astros 6 outs away from moving on to the ALCS, and Kansas City 5 singles in a row, keep the line moving, and then Kendrys Morales, the ground ball up the middle, off the glove of Carlos Correa to tie the game, and then it's just, and then Game 7, Johnny Cueto pitched a gem, or Game 5 rather. But I think if they play them again in the playoffs, two excellent teams, but I think Houston gets, and again, Kansas City, it hasn't been done 3 years in a row. Do I want to? Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see it, but I'm gonna put Houston in. I love that Astros team as well. That's a very, very good team. So I have the Astros going to the World Series here in the American League. National League side of things here. The wild card game, I have the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks, and one game playoff. Yeah, you could throw Zach Greinke, but the Cardinals can throw Adam Wainwright. They could throw Carlos Martinez. They're going to throw Adam Wainwright in the one game, and I just really do think the Cardinals here will the 4 seed. Cardinals will be the home team. I got St. Louis winning this game. They will move on to the LDS, or they will play the Pittsburgh Pirates, who will hopefully, according to what I have here, finally get over that wild card game, that hump there. I have the Pirates winning this series. I don't think this is the same dynamic Cardinals team we've seen in the recent past. They're a very good team, but I really think the Pirates have something to prove this year. And that leaves the Giants and the Mets in the other division series. I love the Mets pitching, but I talked about it previously. Small ball, fundamentally sound baseball, and defense. They faced the Royals in the World Series last year, and they got the Royals were fundamentally sound. They didn't make mistakes. The Mets did, and it cost them on numerous occasions in the World Series. The Giants are a very similar style team. They're not going to make mistakes. As great as the Mets pitching is, again in the playoff series, against a team like Kansas City or a team like San Francisco is right up there with them. I have San Francisco coming out of this thing, so that leads us to the NLCS, the Pirates and the Giants, and I'm sorry San Francisco, but the Pirates are on a mission this year. They're going to the World Series for the first time since the '79 We Are Family team. I just really think they're going to make some noise this year. I felt they were the best team in the National League last year. I really did. I thought if they beat the Cubs in the wild card game, they were going to go to the World Series. They didn't. So, I really think this team's going to go this year. Again, San Francisco, excellent team. I just think Pittsburgh is kind of similarly to Houston, out to prove something this year, which will be an excellent World Series. You have Kansas City, San Francisco, Houston, and Pittsburgh. 4 excellent organizations, well run top to bottom, play the game hard. Really small markets, generally speaking. There, teams that play the game the right way, homegrown players, will be fun to watch there if those are the Final 4 standing. In the World Series, we have the Pirates and the Astros. I do have the Houston Astros winning their first World Championship in franchise history. Some 21-year-old shortstop may have something to do with that. I'll get to that in a moment. But Doug Fister, I think like I mentioned, I think he's going to really fit in with this rotation, even though so far hasn't been that great. Lance McCullers, I know he's hurt right now. Big picture though, I'm looking at, and I think those guys are going to fit. Guys are going to help this rotation out tremendously. Ken Giles not closing games right now, but nonetheless solidifies the back end of that bullpen. This is two very good teams. I don't know how many games are going to go, but honestly, really could go either way. Could be a 6-7 game series. Two very good teams, and if they both get to the World Series, I think it could be a successful season. There are some teams you get to the World Series expect to win. These two teams, I think they're going to be happy if they get to the World Series. Only one team could win, so two excellent organizations, two teams that are fun to watch play the game. And I got the Astros winning it all in 2016. So, moving on to the awards section, and I did mention some certain 21-year-old shortstop who plays for the Astros, Mr. Carlos Correa. And I have this kid winning the MVP this year. A lot of people seem to. I remember watching the 2012 draft. I talked about this when I talked about the Astros in the American League section of this podcast. And this kid, he just gets it. He just gets it. He made the error in Game 4 of the ALDS last year. People argue that cost his team the series. Really handles it like a pro. I mean, it was just really, really, really good to see. I mean, special kid, great kid, one heck of a ball player too. Really, can just do it all, and is going to be a superstar in this game. Maybe, or may already be the best shortstop in baseball. He's going to be fun to watch. And National League MVP again. I have Arizona in the playoffs. Paul Goldschmidt's in the mix every year. This is the year he takes home. I think this is the year Goldschmidt wins that MVP. So that's what I got in the MVPs. I have Correa in the American League. National League, I have Paul Goldschmidt. For the Cy Young Awards, we're going down to Florida for both of these awards. In the American League, I have the Rays in the wild card situation, throwing Chris Archer. Well, I got him winning the Cy Young Award as well. He's just still a guy who's fun to watch. Has a blast out there. He's just having fun out there on the mound. It's like another guy who's just fun to watch. A lot of fun guys to watch in this game. But I really think Chris Archer had a big year this year. Great year last year as well. Really developed as the bona fide ace of that rotation. And the pitching staff that is well known for developing great pitchers. So Archer, I think, is the guy in the American League this year. Chris Sale's always in the mix, but I got Archer this year. And in the National League, pick any Met you want, basically. But those guys are all fantastic. But I think this year it's going to be Jose Fernandez. I really think Fernandez is just another guy, dynamic stuff. Just really, really, again, just fun to watch. I mean, just fun to watch. I mean, what else can you say? A couple of rough starts early on here, but just electric stuff. Really just dynamic on the mound. Really, again, really talented. Again, off the Tommy John surgery, I think came back last year pitching pretty well. I think he's going to win probably multiple awards here, so I think he wins the first this year. I'll go Manager of the Year first before I go Rookie of the Year. Manager of the Year, I'm going to go, ironically, the two teams I have in the World Series. Last year was Jeff Bannister, Brian Bannister. Last year was Jeff Bannister in the American League with the Texas Rangers. And well-deserved, no doubt. But a lot of people felt A.J. Hinch deserved some consideration, and I think this year he will nab that award. A.J. Hinch really just done a great job with this team. And I think in Pittsburgh, Clint Hurdle, if they go on a big run there, if they win this division, very talented division, he pushes all the right buttons. It seems Mike Matheny isn't going to be in the mix. So is Joe Madden. But I think Clint Hurdle wins it this year. I'm saving the Rookies of the Year for last, because it would just be my luck if the American League Rookie of the Year went to Sean Manaea of the Oakland A's, and if the National League Rookie of the Year went to Cody Reed of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would not surprise me one bit if it did. Now, yes, these are two Kansas City Royal prospects from a season ago. Manaea went out to Oakland in the Ben Zobrist trade last July. Cody Reed, like I mentioned, out to Cincinnati in the Johnny Cueto trade. Two dynamic left-handers, power stuff, throw strikes. With Manaea, the question's been health. They're both in AAA right now. I expect to see Sean Manaea sooner rather than later. There's no need to rush Cody Reed, but again, he really impressed. Really impressed Brian Price, the manager of the Reds, in camp, and he's really taking the leaps. I remember 2 years ago he was pitching in the Kansas City system in Lexington, in the South Carolina League. He had an ERA around like 7 or something crazy like that. He really just was struggling with those strikes. He literally went 3-9 in 2014, 3-9 with a 5.46 ERA, and walked almost 4 per 9. The year before that, when he was drafted 2013, Idaho Falls in the Pioneer League rookie ball, 0-1, 6.07 ERA, 29 innings, 23 walks, 7 walks per 9 innings. But his command has just, there may not be another prospect. By the way, I'm doing this, it's his birthday, April 15th, so happy birthday, Cody. But I really don't think there was another pitching prospect last year in 2015 that just made him more meteoric, just rise. He just flew up prospect lists everywhere. I think the Reds got him at the right time because he's gonna be good. And with pitching, I know we're one pitch away from injury, but I think these two guys are gonna be special, and you root for them, for sure. But would Casey like to have these guys? Sure, but can't take away 2015 world champions, that's for sure. So that's what I got. Other guys, you got Jose Barrios in the American League with the Twins. I'm kind of surprised that he's not up right now. Corey Seager with the Dodgers. You want to throw Trevor Story out there, go right ahead. Last year's rookie class was amazing. We may never see it again, but it would just be my luck if those two guys came away with the award. It's also possible that they don't even qualify, enough. They come up mid-season, so other guys are already more established and get the award. But I would not be surprised if it's Manaea of Oakland and Reed of Cincinnati, 2 left-handers there for Rookies of the Year. So that's going to do it. Thank you very much for listening to all 3 podcasts here about the upcoming, or I guess ongoing, I should say, baseball season. Again, like I said, always predictions done before the season, so we'll see how it goes. It's been a lot of fun putting these together, and hope everyone enjoys listening. And look, I know everyone has their opinions. I have my opinion. Everyone has their opinion listening. We're not going to agree with everything, so if you want to post comments, go right ahead. But I think it's baseball. Anything can happen, and it's really no sport is that more true than with baseball. So I feel like I backed up my thoughts for everything I've said here with good evidence and just support, and we'll see what happens. Again, it's baseball. You're not gonna predict this perfectly, more likely than not. So I'll probably be wrong with some of these, but it's all in good fun. So thanks again, everyone, for listening. I really appreciate it. And bottom line, listen to my podcast. It's great, but watch. If you haven't watched a baseball game, just give it a shot. To me, there's nothing else in the world quite like it. So a lot of games going on this time of the year. So give it a shot if you haven't watched it out. Watch the game already. And enjoy the season, because again, I always say it goes too fast. I know a player will tell you it's a long grind of a season, which I'm sure it is, but enjoy it, because it is constant, but it goes. Watching it goes quickly. So thank you again, everybody, for listening. Appreciate the support and enjoy the season. So we'll see what happens into the postseason. We'll see how I did, but until then, thanks for listening, everybody.